Good afternoon, and welcome to the 94th Annual Iowa Bandmasters Conference. My name is Chris Strohmaier, and for the past year, it has been my pleasure to be the president of the IBA. Over the next 3 days, you will have the opportunity to attend 51 different clinic sessions presented by some of the very best music educators from across the state and across the country. You will be able to attend 6 different virtual concerts and observe 3 different featured speeches guaranteed to reinvigorate and inspire. I am so excited that you're here today. I am incredibly proud of the conference that we have put together this year. However, none of it would have been possible without the Herculean effort of our webmaster, Liz Fritz. Since we announced that we were moving our conference online back in January, Liz has worked tirelessly, coordinating with the AEA and Guidebook to make sure that the technical side of our conference would run smoothly. She has been in constant communications with me and with our presenters and performers to ensure that they would be prepared to present. Her efforts on behalf of the conference and the IBA cannot be overstated. I cannot imagine going through this process without you, Liz. So on behalf of all of us, thank you. There is a lot happening in this year's conference that you will want to see, and though I can't go over all of it here, I do want to point out a few things in particular. We will kick things off with an opening address from Dr. Scott Edgar, which will tackle what really matters most in education, building great relationships with our students. Entitled The Heart of Learning, Dr. Edgar will address the unparalleled social and emotional challenges our students have faced during the past year, while helping us to find ways to reconnect with and reground our students in a socially rich and emotionally sound environment. Elementary and junior high directors will want to go hear MJ Robinson present her 2 Thursday sessions called How to Get 'em, Creating a Culture of Exclusivity and Excellence That Everyone Wants to Be a Part of, and How to Keep 'em, Creating a Culture of Exclusivity and Excellence That Students Stick Around For. Mrs. Robinson is an incredibly energetic band director from Alston Middle School in Summerville, South Carolina, whose companion sessions are sure to energize you and your program. Along a similar vein, Marcia Neal, the Senior Director for Education at Yamaha, will present a session on Friday called 5 Smart, Innovative Ideas for Retaining Your Beginners, where she will share ideas from directors across the country that will help you ensure that your rooms are filled to capacity in the post-pandemic world. Steve Graves is the band director at Lexington Junior High School in Cypress, California, and his Saturday session, Making More Music with Less Notes, Composing and Creating Materials for Very Beginning Bands, is all about the process and challenges of composing and arranging music for very young bands. He will provide some guidelines for you on creating your own compositions and supplemental materials to help your beginning band reach its potential. One of the biggest losses in a virtual conference is missing out on the All-Iowa 8th Grade Honor Band. But just because that event won't happen this spring doesn't mean that you have to miss out on this year's composer and conductor, Daryl Johnson. On Saturday, Mr. Johnson will present The Aleatoric Life of a Traveling Composer, where, amongst other things, he will be discussing his IBA commissioned work, Spring Song. Tune in to learn about the bittersweet framework surrounding this deceptively saccharine allegretto and hear some of the colorful stories and musical life lessons that one learns from a novel career as a traveling composer. Jim Stevenson spent the first 17 years of his professional life as a trumpet player before becoming a full-time composer. As such, his music is written from the vantage point of someone who knows firsthand what it's like to feel the excitement of making music with people. In his session, A Composed Life, the music and story of Jim Stevenson, you'll get to hear how his collaborative approach informs every compositional decision he makes. Perhaps the high point of the conference will be Dr. Frank Battisti's session entitled Beliefs, Objectives, Strategies. If you don't know Frank, or if you haven't heard him speak before, you need to. Your musical and educational life will be forever changed after you listen to his stories. He is one of those Mount Rushmore types in the band world. Do not miss this opportunity to hear him speak. Ever been curious how the biggest band programs do it? Make sure to come hear Darren Davis, Director of Bands at Broken Arrow High School in Oklahoma, present his 2 sessions, Being the Corporate CEO of Your Band Program, and Successful Teaching Strategies for the Modern Marching Band. Chris Griffa is the Director of Bands at Clay Middle School in Carmel, Indiana. His session, Teaching Effective Practice Through Teaching Process will explore how giving students a simple and repeatable process will help them become stronger, independent, and self-sufficient musicians. As the director of bands at Claudia Taylor Johnson High School in San Antonio, Texas, Jarrett Lippman has instituted a rigorous routine of rhythm studies, solfege drills, and interval singing with his band that has helped Claudia Taylor Johnson gain recognition as one of the top programs in the country. In his session, Middle School and High School Band Ear Training and Oral Skills for Online or Live Instruction, he'll show what he does in his program and how you can adapt some of these same techniques yourself. One of the most published band pedagogues today is Dr. Shelly Jagaow of Wright State University. In her session, Making Sense, or Sense, of Ensemble Intonation, Dr. Jagaow will explore a variety of factors affecting pitch and provide sound pedagogy for teaching interval relationships to students. Saturday will also feature two national figures who are products of Iowa band programs. Louis Hanslick graduated from Norwalk High School before going on to study trumpet performance at the University of Iowa. An internationally recognized, Grammy Award-winning trumpeter, chamber musician, and educator, Dr. Hanslick now serves as professor of trumpet at the University of Connecticut and is a member of the prestigious trumpet and chamber music faculties of the Juilliard School and Aspen Music Festival and School. He is also a member of the renowned Orpheus Chamber Orchestra and the American Brass Quintet. Dr. Hanslick will be sharing his passion for chamber music and its importance to music education in his session, Fostering Advanced Musicianship and Artist Citizenship Through Chamber Music. Andrew Traxel grew up in Carroll, Iowa, before attending Drake University and teaching high school band at North Polk and Dallas Center Grimes High Schools. He went on to study conducting at the University of North Texas, where he now serves as Associate Professor of Music, as well as Chair of the Division of Conducting and Ensembles. Dr. Traxel is also the editor of the Teaching Music Through Performance in Band book series, an experience from which he will share insights in his session, Music Becomes Us: The Importance of Quality Repertoire. He will follow that session with another one entitled The Servant Conductor, where he will stress the importance of empowering our students so that they may fully realize their potential. Saturday's keynote address, entitled The Great Reset: What Musicians Should Have Learned from the Pandemic, will be given by Dr. James Jordan. Adopted into instrumental music circles from the vocal world, Dr. Jordan is an incredibly respected educator, author, and scholar whose insights into life, music, and the relationships we form through study and performance make him one of the most in-demand speakers and clinicians working today. If you've read any of his books in the Musicians series, you know that this will be a presentation not to be missed. And then we have IBA's newest honorary lifetime member, Dr. Tim Lotzenheiser. During our awards presentation on Saturday evening, Dr. Tim will speak to us about life, band, passion, and education, all those great Dr. Tim topics. I challenge any of you to come away from a Dr. Tim speech without feeling reinvigorated. 2020 was a tumultuous year, and not just because of the pandemic. Social and political conflict showed us just how segmented we can become as a country. But through our music and through our classrooms, band can be a place where people come together and divides are healed in the service of something greater than ourselves. I hope you will take the time to check out our series of 6 sessions, discussions, and concerts surrounding diversity as it relates to every aspect of our programs. Douglas Yao, the author of the Lassus Trombone blogs, is presenting a session on Thursday about confronting racial issues in the music we play. Jazz Educators of Iowa is sponsoring 2 panel discussions around race and gender in jazz. Thursday's Honoring the Roots of Jazz is a continuation of a fantastic discussion held earlier this year, while Friday's Women in Jazz will address many of the issues faced by women, both students and professionals, who play in jazz groups across the country. On Saturday, Dr. Courtney Snyder from the University of Michigan is presenting a session targeted towards both men and women, which will address gender biases inherent in our field. Then, later on Saturday, the Pride Band Alliance is sponsoring a session by Anthony Oakley from Washington, D.C., who will talk about issues faced by LGBTQ students and teachers in the band community and how we can all work together to be more inclusive. But the one truly not to miss is the Friday night concert by the Damani Phillips Quartet titled Jazz in the Fight for Civil Rights, Jazz as Activist Music. I have had the opportunity to both see and perform in this concert, and it is absolutely fabulous. Do not miss this one. In addition to the performance by the Damani Phillips Quartet, the conference will feature 5 other concerts. Although nothing can recreate the magic of live performance, these musicians have been working tirelessly to produce a performance worthy of the high standards of the IBA conference. On Thursday evening, don't miss the Pella High School 11-12 Concert Band, directed by Damian Place. The Hazel Point 6th grade band from Linn-Mar, directed by Kevin McKinster and Stephanie Nuss, will perform at noon on Saturday, and the West Lyon Symphonic Band, directed by Drew Balta, will perform at 3:30. The conference will conclude with performances by the Boston Brass at 7 o'clock, followed by Cedar Falls Jazz 1, directed by Kyle Engelhart and featuring trumpeter Ryan Kaiser. Even though our conference is online, we are still guaranteed some fabulous musical moments that you will not want to miss. There is so much for you to check out over the next 3 days. And the best part about this conference being virtual? All of these sessions will be archived for you to view again later. I hope that you're as excited about what's in store as I am. So on behalf of all of our presenters, performers, and presiders, and the IBA Board of Directors, welcome to the 94th Annual IBA Conference. I know you're going to love it.